Hey there, I'm Marcella from Thrive Professional English Instruction, and I'm here to give you some easy tips and tricks that will simplify your life as an English learner. Today's episode will take place on my rooftop. And if you're wondering why on earth I am on my rooftop, well, there are two good reasons. First of all, why not? It's a beautiful sunny day, don't you think? Now, the other reason why I'm on the rooftop is that I'd like to show you some tips and tricks that will help you identify when to use on, in, and at correctly. Come on, let me take you around town and show you some examples. I'm on the bus. I'm at the bus stop. I'm at the supermarket. I'm in the supermarket. I'm at the park. Woo! I'm on a swing. Woo! There's a bike hanging on the wall. It's a nice day here at the plaza. So right now I am at a place called El Escorchador in Palma de Mallorca. I'm sitting at a table waiting for my food. Also, I'm sitting on a stool and I have some wine in my glass. Cheers! Putting lemon on the oyster. I'm walking on the sidewalk. There aren't any clouds in the sky. I'm at the beach. It's cold today, but there is one brave person swimming in the water. And I have my shoes in the sand. So you want to know where I live? Yeah, I live on 127th Street. Oh, you want to know my address? Right. So I live at 1177 Northeast 127th Street. Thank you. Let's begin with this acronym. DTAP, which stands for don't go crazy, think about it, apply common sense, and prioritize. Most native speakers use these prepositions, called prepositions of place, in so many different situations that it seems impossible to think that there are specific rules. However, it is definitely possible to apply some guidelines. When using in, most of the time it will refer to a place that has boundaries, like walls, windows, and a door to go inside. Like when I was in the supermarket. Keeping this idea of boundaries in mind, we also use in for countries, states, cities, and counties. Because if you think about it, we are inside the boundaries of the place. For instance, when I mentioned that El Escorchador is located in Palma de Mallorca. Of course, we can apply this to drinks in a glass, shoes in a box, and I can think of so many more examples. But to make it short, if you have the ability to go inside, then in is the best preposition to use. When using at, remember that at refers to a general location. So it can be used if you are outside or inside a place. And because it isn't specific to a location with boundaries like in, then it's most common when you're talking about a place that is outside, like a park. Do you remember when I was at the park or at the beach? Because if you think about it, there isn't an actual entrance to go inside of these places. This was the difference between me being at the supermarket and me being in the supermarket. And of course, because at refers to location, this is why we use it for specific addresses as well. Finally, let's talk a bit about on, which is best used when mentioning the location in reference to a surface. Like right now, I'm on the rooftop. In other words, I'm on the surface of this building, on top of this building. And when I was at El Escorchador, I was sitting on a stool. I was also walking on the sidewalk because walking in the sidewalk would be totally impossible. This is one reason why when we mention a location in reference to a street, we say the store is on 128th Street because it sits on the surface of the street. If it was in the street, then we would have serious problems. Yes, and let me not forget the common question about transportation. So I said on refers to a surface, and you hear people say, I am on the bus. And you think, on the bus? Well, this is an exception. When making a reference to public transportation that carries many, many people, we use on, not in. In is only used for small vehicles like cars. Alright, going back to our acronym, DTAP. If you are in doubt about whether to use in, on, or at, don't go crazy. Using these prepositions of place is not an exact science, so relax. Think about it. Don't just say whatever comes out first. Stop and think a little about what you're going to say. Apply some common sense. Are you inside? Are you outside? Are you standing on a surface? Use what makes the most sense for the situation. Prioritize. If you're inside, it's usually better to use in. Place with no boundaries, it's usually better to use at. Unfortunately, the rules aren't always 100%. There are usually exceptions, but with a few tips and tricks, you can improve the way you speak. If there are any questions regarding this topic, you can inbox me or make a comment, and I'll be happy to answer it for you. This was Easy Tips and Tricks by Thrive Professional English Instruction, simplifying your life as an English learner.